Ooh. Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time finding me, thank you for finding me. This is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I'm going to be doing a reading right now for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, also for your cross watchers, also for people who kind of just find themselves on my channel and they find themselves really resonating with whatever the message is that day. It doesn't matter if you have Pisces in your chart or not. Just because Pisces is in the title doesn't mean it's not for you, okay? And if you are looking for something that's specifically for you, go to my TikTok. I do readings for all the other zodiac signs on TikTok. All right, so let's get started. Pisces, this is going to be really difficult to hear. That's what I was hearing as I was like, what's this reading going to be about today? That's what I heard. We can listen to it together. It's okay. We can empower each other. We can kind of just share this space where we can safely process our emotions and, you know, just feel kind of heard and understood and accepted just as we are, because you are accepted just as you are. Okay, you don't necessarily have to always play this role, always like cater to what other people are expecting of you. You know, it's like, yeah, you're a sovereign. You can totally choose for yourself what you want for yourself. Also, yeah, you're a sovereign. So what you choose, whether through active cognitive decision making or avoidance and therefore lack of action, you will be responsible. You will be the one who will be reaping all the consequences of that. So really begin empowering yourself. Make choices for you, you know? And the people in your life, if they really love you and support you, they'll be loving and supporting of this need to be autonomous, to really decide things for yourself. Not always do we have people who love us that will support us in that way. And if you don't, then you need to kind of start making decisions regarding their placement in your life and your heart, okay? Just because someone's going to be removed from a primary position doesn't mean you have to stop loving them. But if their primary positioning in your heart and your life is something that's hurting you, is something that consistently makes you feel like you're so difficult to love, you're too much, you're this, you're that, well, they need to be demoted. They just do. Their words shouldn't have that much effect on you, unless, of course, they're speaking truths that you're not willing to hear. Then that's a whole different story. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying not to look at the cards while I pull because I don't want to feel sour. You know, I just don't know where it's going to go. And I don't want to be like, So, you know, I want to be surprised just like you guys. But I feel like whatever this is going to be something difficult to hear because first off, that's what Michael said. Second off, I'm already feeling the emotions like rising up the chest towards the throat. I'm feeling like an increase in like, oh my God. I don't know why. It's fine. I kind of just, I don't know, like, what do we need to see, Michael, so that we can just move past whatever it is that's holding us back? Is something holding us back? Or is this something like, I don't know, did our feelings get hurt to the point where we are refusing to move forward? Is it like, what is it? What is it? Let us know. We're ready to grow, Mikey. We're ready to grow. He says, are you sure, bitch? Are you? Let me stop. Let me stop because he's like, I'm joking. I was joking. Not really, but you know, I'm joking. Take a joke, man. Yeah. He's saying a few other things. Whatever. Whatever. Oops. We're almost done. One final deck that we're going to pull from. We'll use that as a clarifier. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to receive truth bombs? Truth bombs. here we go. Final deck to shuffle. Let's see what happens. Thank you. This is I am doing a hair treatment due. Hair and scalp. I have to take care of myself. I'm noticing I'm not taking care of myself too much. And it's not that I'm too busy. It's that I'm not setting aside time for myself. That's a decision I'm making. So all it took was me seeing wrinkles forming under my eyes. I'm like, bitch, you need more water. You need some moisture in the hair, in the face, all over the fucking place. And so I drank more water, and now my hair is being moisturized. Okay, we're ready, guys. We are ready. We're ready. We're ready to start shit, talk shit, be the shit. I know. I don't know where I come up with them either. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. So card number 23, broken dreams. Only you can accept or reject your dreams. So, I don't know. No, this is really sad. So whoever it was that was like a reflection of you, that's shattered. That's shattered. Oh my God. Okay, I gotta find the picture. Oh my God, 1111. What the fuck's going on? 1111, 70%. 1111, 70%. Mirroring. 7720. Okay. Here. So I don't think I'm gonna find it because it's pretty far back. It's pretty far back. I was making breakfast the other day. I was making breakfast and I broke the eggs. I cracked it and into the pan. The first one that went into the pan, for some reason, it had 2 yolks. I was like, oh, twinsies! Okay. And I was like, oh my God, that's so rare. And then the second one, because I was making 2 eggs for my sibling. The second one, I broke it into the pan and it had 2 yolks as well. And I was like, oh, the twinsies are twinsings. And so I don't know where the fuck it is. Why do I need to show it? Whatever. So there were 4 yolks in the pan. There was 2 and 2. So it's like a separation within the self. This is coming up because of this. So I'm wondering, it's like a fractionating of the self that's occurring. There was a hit, something, maybe some words that were said, maybe some post, maybe something hit real hard. And whoever that reflection is that exists outside of you, or maybe it's you, maybe you witnessed it. It hurt. It hurt real bad. It hurt real bad, and it caused like a shift in the way either you or they see. It caused such a massive shift. And now whatever trajectory that healing process was on is gone. It shifted. It was removed. Yo, it wasn't even shots fired. By the look of this mirror, that was a fucking bazooka. No less than a 50 cal. 50 cal, like douche. You know what I'm saying? Big ass shots were fired. There was a lot of percussive blows. And that shifted everything. That shift requires a lot of like internal observation. Like you have to really see, where is this going? Like, I'm wondering, well, shit, maybe that's why I haven't been taking care of my skin and my hair. Maybe this is something we all kind of felt on like a subatomic level. Maybe this is something that was so like, ouch, that we didn't want to see it. We didn't want to feel it. Either we didn't want to feel it within ourselves, or we didn't want whoever this represents outside of us. We didn't want to feel what they were going through. Because Michael's saying, I have been saying for the past few days, I feel someone's sadness. I know it's not my own. I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know. Card number 29, radical self-acceptance. You are perceived the way you perceive yourself. Oh, so it's a mirroring. If you feel like part of you, part of your divine identity has been taken, then it's almost like, I wonder if this means that someone kind of sees you as their missing part. I'm wondering if you or what you represent to them, the type of totality in love that you represent to them, I wonder if they feel the absence to such a high degree. Oh my God. It's even like this, like I should have startled when I hear this shit. Okay, this is not my message, it's yours. Let's put it in those terms. So it's like this sense of it should have been me, it should have been you, it should have been us. I don't know. I don't know. I have to drink my coffee or I'm gonna cry. Card number 37, transitions. You have all of the inner resources you need to cross whatever bridges arise on your path. So a gap was established. There was a gap that formed between you and someone else, and now you're being given a way to bridge that gap. I don't know if that bridge is needing to occur on like an in real life type level, or if this is just energetic. And it's not to say that this is all romance. This could be a friendship. This could be a misunderstanding that shattered the way you see the person, the way you see the friendship. Like, it could be something even to where it's like, I thought you were someone else, and now I don't know how to feel towards you. I don't know if I can, like trust you as my friend. I don't know if you, things like that. It's not always relationships, like romantic relationships. This could apply in so many different ways. Oh, okay. 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 I'm talking to Michael. Okay. Okay. So okay. Here goes. Card number 21, companionship animals. It's kind of this message of maybe you need to put away the kangaroo within you that's wanting to throw some elbows and kick shit. Maybe we have to be more like animalistic in our love, where animals don't necessarily hold grudges, it's this recognition that, okay, for example, let's use dogs as an example, because I fucking love dogs. Using dogs as an example, they don't necessarily hold a grudge towards their owner. You could yell at them, and then in a matter of usually within the same day, they just want you to love them. Okay. They just want your love. They just want to be accepted. They want to be around you. Now, yelling at them to correct an undesirable behavior is one thing. If you consistently abuse that animal, that dog, it's still going to love you, but it's going to be afraid of you. It's not going to come when you call it. It's going to hide, and it's going to feel so broken inside that the one being that it loves the most keeps being so hurtful. It's going to continue to exist within its life in a very fractured manner, very broken, very afraid, to the point where other people They'll be afraid of other people. People that trigger a remembrance of you and the way you were treating them. I was watching that. I got caught up in this fucking video about a horse on TikTok. This horse was adopted by this woman. I forget her names, but the horse was adopted by this woman as it was being transported over to the slaughterhouse. The slaughterhouse. And it was given up because due to the abuse that it suffered, it was just deemed like untrainable and dangerous. And the reason it was dangerous is because it had been yanked by its ears to get it to move. And I don't know what else happened. I was just like, oh my God. And this woman, she spent so much time and so much patience trying to reassure this horse that even if you lash out, I'm going to love you. You're safe here. This is your home. And it took a while for this horse to accept her. It took some time. But once it realized not everyone is going to hurt me like that, that just because you're going to touch my ears doesn't mean you're going to yank me and hurt me. After a while, the training that she doesn't even need a lead anymore. She doesn't use a rope or any of that. The horse does exactly what she asks because it wants to, out of love. And so we're getting to a point where it's like, are you that horse? Have you been yanked around in your life where it's like you don't know who you are anymore? You don't know what you're here. You don't know what you're supposed to learn. Or were you doing that to someone else? Because, I mean, not all Pisceans are passive and docile. Let's be honest here. I, for one, am aggressive. But you have to bring that out of me. I like to be docile, you know? I like to be a delicate flower. But if your behaviors towards me causes me to feel defensive, you're going to get a whole nother fucking reaction from me. And some people say that that reaction I would be an amazing dominatrix. I probably would. Because I will whip the shit out of you. You can't approach me in that way. I'm a delicate fucking flower. And you better fucking treat me like a delicate fucking flower. Or else you're going to have a delicate fucking problem on your ass after I've whipped you. I don't think so. Because guess what? I've been through enough in my life where I'm not cool with that shit. I'm not going to be quiet about that shit. I'm not going to just quietly take it. I'm going to lash back when it's too much and I'm going to be out. No more, no more, no more. And that's something that I've learned as a defense mechanism. Is that the best way to cope? Probably not. Probably not. Have I found yet a new way to cope? No. No. And why is that? Well, because I've been kept very, very safe in my relationship, in my family, and I haven't had to cope. For over 20 years, I haven't had to cope. So now I'm realizing it's okay for me to speak up. It's okay for someone outside of my marriage to witness me in my authenticity. I no longer have to be afraid that he is the only human being that can tolerate. Notice the selection of the word tolerate me. I think Pisceans, this fracturing might even be indicative of that glass cage we've placed ourselves in, where we are so afraid that people are simply tolerating us. Let's get to a point of our internal development where we're not simply afraid of being tolerated. We're now entering a phase where this phase is going to take us to a way of living permanently, where we will actively seek out the places within ourselves and outside of ourselves where we are celebrated. And we will be okay if others don't celebrate us, because guess what? There's already a fucking party in here. And I don't need anyone outside of me to validate my celebration of myself. But it is a nice thing when we can find or come across people who can celebrate us, where we don't have to play a role. And I think you won't find that until you're ready to just celebrate yourself. You know? You won't find that. And it's not because unless you love yourself, no one else will love you. No, it's because unless you can celebrate yourself, you'll be so consumed by this fear of people simply tolerating you that you'll continue to exist in that shell. And people won't really know who you are. They won't really know what they're missing out on. They won't know. So, how can they celebrate something they don't know exists? For much of my life, no one knew the thoughts that were going on in my head because I told myself, that sounds crazy. You can't tell anyone that. Do you know how many years of my life this thing called Michael has been talking to me? And I'm like, shut up. People might hear you. You're going to make me look crazy in a fucking shut up. Shut up. And he never would shut up. And now look at all of you watching me talking to Michael day in and day out. Is that something bad? Is that something that I should hide? And one of the most beautiful things that I can share with you guys is my acceptance, my full acceptance and love for Michael arrived not too long ago. It was in 2020 when someone found me and they were, I don't know, they were the one that was like maintaining a Kathara group on Facebook. And they contacted me under the pretense of like, oh, hey, we like Kathara too. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Only to find out they were trying to gather information because I talked to Michael, and according to Kathara, Michael is bad. Well, how about this? Michael is my fucking homie. If you want to fucking attack him, you're going to catch my fucking claws. Because everything he's ever done has been to empower and protect me. Fuck that shit. I'm not ashamed that I talk to Michael no more. It's because of you that I'm no longer ashamed. And that's how you have to treat people who challenge you, your truth, your life, how you perceive yourself. Like, fuck that shit. I don't fucking think so. I used to be kind of embarrassed talking to him, but now he's my homie. Fuck you. You can't hate from outside of the club. Just say it. So that was the point where I was like, you know what? No. I don't get my power and abilities from Michael, and all he ever does is defend me, give me information to keep me safe, encourage me, support me. Fuck that shit. You're not going to shit on him just because someone told you this information. Where the fuck did they get this information? Oh, you don't know? Okay, so why the fuck should I believe you? I don't fucking think so. Solidity, inner core. So sometimes it's in that attempt to break you down. Look at that. Someone's been pounding on your crown. Someone's been trying to dictate to you how you should live, the way in which you should walk your path. Like, you got too much swagger. Tone it down. You can't walk your spiritual path with that much enjoyment and sauce. I don't fucking think so. Let the sauce drip off your shoulders. Okay? If you're going to walk your spiritual path with a lot of fucking swagger, okay, shit, you got flavor. Excuse you. They got flavor, leave them alone. And you will find no shortage of people who will tell you that's wrong. You got the wrong spices. Bitch, you ain't even a cook. You're not gonna tell me I have the wrong spices. You eat frozen food. I don't think so. I don't think so. If it's someone who has walked their path and have experienced things, and they're sharing information with you out of just the desire to share, that's one thing. But if you're listening to an individual who is regurgitating information they got from a book, not knowing the history of the author, let's look for that KRS one. KRS, oops, sorry. KRS one, history of an author. Okay. Let's see. Where's his quote? Damn it. Hold on. Let's find it. He said something. I'm going to have to find it. Ooh. I'm going to have to find it. It was one of the most beautifully empowering quotes ever, where he talks about how you take in the words of an author as though it's truth, failing to realize the foundational events that created that individual. They are filtering all of their thoughts through those foundational events that established who they are. And unless you understand what they're talking about, what filters are being used, what are you really taking in as your truth? What are you taking in as your truth? Do you know? And it's not a sense of you should only listen to me. It's a sense of question everything. Why do I speak the way I do? Where is that rooted in? Is it because I read it from somewhere and I'm just passing along information that I don't even know the validity? I don't even know the intent. Or is it me sharing of my life experiences to maybe give you a broader perspective of the circumstance you're currently living through? You can't take everyone's words as though they're the words of God, because guess what? God lives inside you. God's been speaking to you through your heart your entire life. And how many of you have listened to your heart? How many of you have allowed yourself to believe that your heart is an idiot and now you need to be logical about your decisions? And then you sit and wonder, why am I struggling the way I am? How do I connect to my higher self? Go in your heart. Your higher self never left you. It never abandoned you. So here's another thing. We think that, the way to connect to the higher self is up here. Yeah? Yeah? No. No. There's a chakra up there, but that doesn't connect to the higher self. Guess what connects to the higher self? Guess what connects you to the portion of your consciousness that's bathed in that Christ consciousness? Why do you think the brainstem goes down that way? Why do you think when things attack you, usually they'll try and attack you from the back? I'm talking about parasitic. Usually, if they're attacking from the front, that is a distraction. It's so you don't turn around and notice what's being done behind you. So now we have to really, really, really examine what's going on in our lives. What really is this shattered imagery about? Is this a shattering of your perception of who you are? Is this a shattering of your counterpart's perception of who you are, your place in their life? What is this about? This is about motion, air. This is about really allowing the movement of those words to lift up from the lungs, first filtered through that beautiful, beautiful energy within your heart, and then allowing it to rise to your throat before you speak it out. This is a process that takes a very, very long time to be comfortable with. And many of us will probably spend our entire lives trying to be comfortable with this process, trying to not be averse to hearing the sound of our own voice. How many of you have heard the sound of your voice recorded and think, I don't sound like that? It's a weird feeling. It's a really, really weird feeling, especially to those who are so highly empathic. It is such a weird sound when you hear your voice recorded. Why is that? Because we've become so accustomed to shutting ourselves up. That's sad. That's sad. We don't give ourselves permission to hear ourselves. We have to allow ourselves to enter into the part of our journey that involves wildness and electricity. Card number 36. Wildness, electricity. You have to allow your sacred energy to take you to the places within yourself and around yourself. And through this journey, this sacred journey, you'll begin to recognize the beauty in your voice, the beauty in your truth. Many of us feel trapped. Many of us feel as though we're trapped in our lives, we're trapped in our relationships, we're trapped in our circumstance, we're trapped. The only trap there is the belief that you're trapped. Now, just because you're releasing this belief that you're trapped doesn't mean emotionally you're going to release the shackles from yourself. Because emotion and logic are two separate things. You can logically deduce things. You can logically plan things out. You can logically logic. But if the emotions are trapped in a specific way, a specific patterning, then you're trapped still. So you have to work first on the emotions. And when you can calm the emotions down, you can then begin using logic to find the ways in which you will remove that cage. But until you free the emotions, meaning let yourself cry, meaning give yourself permission to be fucking mad. If someone's done some shitty stuff to you, you have a right to be mad. Being mad does not mean lashing out. Being mad is an emotion. It's not an action. And that's what we fail to recognize. We think that, oh, I'm not allowed to be mad. I can't say things. I can't do something. Oh, no, it's not right for me to slap someone. You don't got to slap somebody just because you're mad. But you can definitely be mad and think to yourself, like, fuck this shit. You're not treating me right. You're not treating me with the respect and love that should be reciprocated back to me. And now I need to fucking decide what I need to fucking do. Nothing wrong with that. It's actually a very powerful process. When you acknowledge the fact that you have a right to feel what you feel and there's a reason you feel what you feel, and you begin to seek out the root causation of why you're feeling that way. How many of you feel badly about yourselves without knowing why? How many of you have identified that you feel bad about yourself because of other people's words, other people's actions? Like sometimes they don't even have the courage to tear you down with words. Instead, they use this side-eye look. How many of you? Many of us don't stop to like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? We allow ourselves to be fragmented, to be a pale shadow of what we once were, before we allowed ourselves to agree to the very things that have torn us down more, fragmented us more, the things that caused us to feel shattered, to feel as though things that belong to us are removed from us, things that wrap us in darkness, things that make us feel as though we are expired. Our use, our value has expired because what? Because you've reached a certain age and now you're not young and supple. I don't know. I think for those of us who are reaching that mature part of our lives, hopefully what I'm about to say empowers you. And this is my personal belief, okay? I have never been more attractive than I am today, right now in this moment. And tomorrow, maybe even later tonight, I'm going to be even more attractive. Because with every single breath that I take, that I inhale more of my personal truth and empower myself to live authentically and free, that's fucking sexy. And I don't need to deal with human beings who have not yet evolved themselves enough to understand the behaviors that involve a woman's worth being tied to her age, being hairless, having high breasts. That's pedophilia. And I want a healthy man. I want healthy human beings who don't need me to appear childlike to find value in me. So shit, even with just saying that, I'm even more sexier to myself. This fearlessness to speak my mind, this fearlessness to accept my truth and my perceptions just as they are, knowing there's still space to grow, expand, become softer, become stronger, elevate while I deepen. That's fucking beautiful and powerful. Mm, yeah, I'm feeling myself right now. Ladies and gents, don't tell anyone and don't let anyone tell you that you've expired. I don't fucking think so. So, card number 29, movement. It's time for you to move out of the house within your mind that's allowed you to be complicit in your mental and emotional, as well as spiritual and energetic slavery. Fuck that shit. That period is over. You are free. Card number 3 of winter. Reach out to others for comfort and love. You will grow stronger from this situation, sadness that will heal with time. You have to allow yourself to heal. You just do. No one else can give you permission to heal. There's no type of closure that will close a wound that you keep ripping open from bending over backwards. Allow yourself time to heal. Allow yourself time to really, really just address what this pain is. Where does it come from? Is it something that happened earlier in life? Is it a recording that someone else recorded and it's stuck with you your entire life? What is it? What is it? And maybe you need to experience a period where you are so fucking rebellious to that recording and let the bodies hit the fucking floor. Whatever the collateral damage is, as you find yourself, as you fight that war within yourself to find and rescue yourself, whoever wants to fight you in your process to find yourself, it was good knowing you. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But you can no longer walk beside me. Because in this moment, I'm not fighting a war with you. I'm seeking peace within myself. And if your presence is going to continue to cause me to feel like I have a war within myself, as a part of my truce with me, myself, and I, you are deemed collateral damage and you are exiled. And Pisceans need to be okay with this. Empaths need to be okay with this. It is okay for you to walk away from something that's either toxic or something that continues to try and encourage you to remain in your own toxicity. You deserve peace. You deserve your peace. If you have to try to be something, to not do something, to whatever it is, what are you trying for? What are you trying for? If you continuously bend over backwards for whoever this is you're bending over backwards for, hey, if they couldn't accept you bending over backwards halfway, what makes you think they'll accept you bending over backwards all the way? You could insert your whole head up your butt and they still probably won't be satisfied. Be okay with the recognition that the issue is not you. They are not satisfied with themselves. And unless someone is satisfied with themselves, there is no amount of acrobatics that you could do to cause them to feel satisfaction. There just isn't. And you have to be okay with that. You have to allow yourself to move forward from that. And if they truly value you, this is not an ultimatum. This is a life decision. You're not like, well, if you don't change, then I'm leaving. Well, what the fuck is that? Manipulation. We are not manipulators. We are not going down that road. We are going to make a decision for ourselves. And if they value us, they will choose for themselves to continue walking with us on a different path that leads to both of our healing, separately and together. Because you're not going to heal someone who doesn't want to heal. And maybe that's a conversation you need to have within yourself. Do we really want to heal? Because if we don't want to heal right now, this could be the reason why everything that we try and do, it just doesn't work. Because I've come across people who, oh, I have a parasitic issue. I want it removed. And I have to tell them, okay, the sessions are not cheap. Nothing to do with your budget, but I have to inform you, unless you're willing, unless you want that healing, this shit will come back. I don't want you to waste your money. That's my own personal financial shit that I'm working through. I don't want people wasting their money. So just be ready. If you really want to heal, it can be kept out. If there's a part of you that still feels like you need that little bit of toxicity, it will come back in. And most of us are not aware that this is the process within ourselves. Like sometimes I find myself reverting to old ways of being where I'm hella sour and just like rotten within myself. And I feel it oozing out of me and affecting my environment. And I have to tell myself, girl, do you not see that fucking sludge? Emotional sludge that you're flinging around? That's fucking nasty. Let's change it. Let's pull all of that back in and release it in the proper way, not fling it on the people who create a safe space for you to be who you are. And sometimes we are still toxic. No matter how much work you do, you have deeper layers and levels of toxicity. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. Being able to identify these remnants of your toxicity means you are an evolved person. You can be honest with yourself. You can recognize the places that still need work, that still need support, that still need love from you, not someone else. And you can begin working on that. So many of us are so afraid to even identify that maybe the problem has to do with something with me. Maybe it's not a problem. Maybe it's a lesson. Maybe it's an unrecognized need. Maybe our perception that it's a problem is the problem. Maybe that's the reason why we've taken so long to address it. I don't know. We all have different answers for different circumstance. So, the dreamer, embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, trust yourself. So for many of us, the path that you're on leads you straight to a tower moment. For many of those who are leading themselves to a tower moment, you need that tower moment to wake you up, to kind of grab you by the shoulders, shake you a little bit, and make you more aware of your environment, of what you're allowing yourself to kind of co-create, what you're drawing to yourself, the type of energies and characters you call to yourself with your own energy. And if that's something you don't want to continue, then get off of that path. You already have all the tools, little doodahs and thingamabobs that you need to travel through your own wilderness. Oh, but I don't have the tools. Who said? Who said? Someone, what? Someone, oh, because they have a degree in psychology. Well, I'm not talking about human psychology. I'm talking about spiritual processes. Do they have a degree in that too? How about I tell you, you've already earned your master's degree in this and you're just coming back around to the earth so that you can put into application the things you've already learned. You're just testing things out. How about that? How about you've already lived so many different lives and have had so many different experiences that really all you need to do is release your fear of exploring yourself. And that exploration does not involve paved paths. If you don't want to do the work, you're going to look for the paths that are paved because it's easier. Easier leads you to a tower moment, at which point that's going to be a clusterfuck. But I mean, the path that leads up to the clusterfuck is very easy. It's paved. I'm sure they even have little lights that pop up in the middle of the night so you don't get off the path? So, yeah, unless you want to enjoy that clusterfuck of a tower, by all means. Nine of Spring, protect the fruits of your labor, prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead. Environmental conservation. There will be people who will tell you have to stay on the path. Bitch, says who? Says who? Your guru? The fact that you are placing another being before you and your higher self concerns me. It absolutely concerns me. The last thing you need to be doing is telling me about my path when you haven't even realized you've elevated someone else before your own soul. That concerns me. Truly, it does. It does. No one should be above you. No one should be below you either. People should be shoulder to shoulder with you. No one should be placed on no fucking pedestal. I mean, no. Michael goes, no, don't say that. I was just joking though. If I see that fucking pedestal, I'm gonna chop it down because we need to be shoulder to shoulder. I'm scared you're gonna fall, so let me chop that shit down. Maybe you're stuck up there. I'm just kidding. I'm not chopping shit down. That's my husband. I'm gonna sit there in the car like, oh, and go right back on my tiki talk. Okay, part number 4, against the grain. You're swimming against the grain. You're going against the grain of your environment. This is really exfoliating so many layers and levels off of you. That's okay. That's what you need. It's those calloused parts of you that are being shaved away. But you're still going to feel very sensitive and raw. You're going to feel very vulnerable. That's okay too. When you feel very sensitive, when you feel very raw, shift the way you see those periods. Allow yourself to see it for what it is. This is confirmation that I am shedding the layers and levels that no longer serve me. These layers and levels that have clogged me up, that have kept my truth from coming to me. Card number 37, focus on the light. As you go through that period of shedding, it's going to feel very dark. It's going to feel very challenging. It's going to feel like, what the fuck? That's okay. It's okay. It's okay for you to say, what the fuck? Because that's a very passionate way of questioning. That's a very passionate expression of curiosity and wonder. And you need to start becoming curious about yourself, curious about your path, curious about your history, really allowing that curiosity to guide you to the very answers that you're seeking. 99% at 1152. 1 plus 5, 2 is 9. 999. 99 is the highest expression of that God energy. It's 9 raised on itself. 11 is the number of divinity. 5 is the number of change. 2 is the number of guidance. So that divine essence within you is guiding you to the very change that you need. That's some shit. Card number 37, focus on the light. These are cycles you go through. They're nothing but cycles. It's a cyclical thing. You learn that lesson, it cycles back around for you to learn it on a deeper level. Okay? It's not that you keep making the same mistake. If you feel like you keep making the same mistake, it's because you're probably continuing to choose the same lesson over and over without actually learning what you need to learn. All you have to do is learn it, and then it becomes something that comes back around in a different way. Card number 7, legacy of light. You come from a family of light beings. Okay, you're not just the human identity that you know yourself to be. As a matter of fact, you're not even the human identity you know yourself to be. Because unless you've reached a certain level of self-awareness, you are nothing more than a compilation of an identity that others want and need you to be for them. Meaning, if someone comes across your path and they want or need a villain to place beside the person they have promoted to hero, you probably will be that villain. It has nothing to do with you. Sometimes people need a victim in their life. And if you're a willing volunteer, then they'll choose you to be a victim. Not saying it's your fault, just helping you to understand Sometimes this is what's going on. It's just an identification of potential root causes for things that you experience. So, you come from a legacy of light. It's time to ascend to the adulthood of your soul. There's always so much talk of inner child work, which is a necessary, important process. But unless you allow that inner child to grow, to mature into the adulthood of the soul, what are you really doing here? Is your inner child Shirley Temple? Well, she was so damn cute with her bouncy curls and just adorable that from what I read about her biography, they actually tried injecting her with all sorts of shit to delay her growth. That's fucked. My inner child, she needs the space and the love to grow. We've already addressed the things that have hurt her feelings. We are still addressing them. We are still seeing the aftermath of what she experienced in my early life. It's okay, baby boo. We will continue to hold hands as you work on that. We will work on it together, and I will stay by your side as I watch you grow into a young woman. And as you grow into that young woman, I will still hold your hand and I will still stay by your side as you become a full grown woman. And with everything that you experience, I will be there with you. And so there's no more fear in your process of growth. There will be things that will make you feel very uncomfortable. There will be things that will challenge your sense of self. There will be things that will cause you to feel as though you are not enough, you are too much, you need to just disappear. And through all those things, I will be holding your hand and keeping you on your path of self-realization and self-healing. And that's what I'm going to consciously choose as a human consciousness. Because this growth far extends beyond this single life. And just like for all of my biological children, my inner child will have that type of love. And there will be nothing that will scare me away from her side. Not no more. Because I come to the realization I come from a legacy of light. There's nothing that a human being could ever do to undo the decisions my soul has made for me in this life. I will have the experiences. I will have the growth. I will rise to the level that my soul has decided I will rise to. I myself cannot stop that process. I can fight it tooth and nail and give myself a hard ass fucking time. But no matter what I do, I will always end up where I'm supposed to end up. And there's nothing anyone in this earth, there's nothing that they can do to stop that. Not even myself. I come from greatness. I am made of greatness. To my greatness I shall return. That applies for all of you. You come from greatness. You are made of greatness. To your greatness you shall return. And you can't stop that process. You can talk about free will all you want. You have free will to choose the details that occur as your soul drives you down that road to where you're going to be. Just like a child in the back seat, you can choose to throw your snacks on the floor. You can choose to spill your juice. You can choose to put stickers on the windows. Whatever the fuck you want, but we're still driving, baby boo. You want to take a nap? Okay. You want to listen to some music? Okay. I'm still going to keep driving. That's what your soul is saying. Card number 23, there's a solution for every problem. In order to properly find a solution and implement it, you have to first identify what the problem is. If you don't identify what the problem is, there's a high likelihood that you've shackled yourself to the problem, that you've somehow allowed yourself to identify as the problem, that you are no longer a person that has been wounded. You now have merged with that wound, and your identity is the wound. And a lot of people do this. It's this very thing that causes people to be afraid of their own healing. Because really, if you identify as your wound and the wound is being healed, once that wound is healed, well, then who am I? Whatever you choose to be, that's who you are. Once you heal that wound, you now have all the potentiality placed back into that hand. What are you going to choose to be? If you want to continue to choose to be the wound, you're probably going to rip it open again. You're probably going to sabotage your own process, because what happens after the process? I don't know, and I'm afraid. Why don't instead we recognize that fear, our fear of healing, and support that part of ourselves? Not look for people to love those parts of us that need that love, but to choose consciously to love on those parts of us ourselves. And it's not that we don't need anyone in our lives. It's that we really don't need people, but it's nice when they're around. It's nice when we have others to lean on. But here's the thing. Without the recognition that you have your own legs, you have your own spine, you have your own systems that make it possible for you to stand and lean, you're just going to be a pile of jello on the floor. And at that point, you're not leaning on anyone. You're a pile of jello on the floor. And there's not anyone who can give you their system to create a skeletal and muscular network that can help you to stand. This is something that's already within you, and it takes your recognition, your acknowledgement that this is within you to be able to utilize it. So, card number 26, protection, set personal boundaries. There will be those who will continuously aim to violate your boundaries. Thank those people. They are volunteering for the process with which you implement what you've learned. You think you're going to violate my boundaries? Thank you for volunteering. I'm going to go ahead and apply on you what I've learned recently, which is I'm not taking your shit, nor am I allowing you to manipulate me into exchanging with you, because you don't deserve my energy. I'm just going to leave you on red. And I'm going to go about my day and continue posting things that I enjoy, continue spending time with the people I enjoy. Yeah, you don't get that kind of power anymore. You don't get to dictate to me through your ugly actions what kind of day I'm going to have. And it's not that I give zero fucks, because I give plenty of fucks, trust me. I have a huge storehouse of fucks, like the potent kind, the really condensed, really powerful, potent kind of fucks. I'm just very selective of who I give that to, because I'm not bargain basement. That's some really high value fucks that I give. And I'm not just going to give it away to people who are going to misuse it, who are going to turn around and use it against me. And I'm okay with being seen however people see me when I don't allow them to bait me into things that I already know it's a waste of my time and my energy. And I'm sure they're a valuable person, just not to me. And that's okay. If I see no value in what you are trying to force me to engage in, that's okay. That's my opinion. Just like you can have your opinion of what you think of me if I don't engage. See, here's the thing we don't recognize. Sometimes we allow ourselves to get baited in engagement because we have to prove we're powerful. The powerful person doesn't have to prove anything. They are secure in their power. And they're not going to waste it just to prove something. Does the lion waste its energy trying to prove to the entire Serengeti that it's a lion. No, that bitch is napping most of the day. I'm going to be napping too. I'm not going to waste my breath sharing my thoughts on someone who has decided long before this conversation that they have no desire to understand me. Every engagement is simply an attempt to convince me that I am wrong and their opinion is more valid than the truth that I've lived for myself. It's exhausting. I need a nap. So, card number 11, flash over. It's all in your head. It is. This need to explain, this need to get understanding, this need to let people know your side so they know the truth. Do they want the truth? Because when people talk shit about other people to me, if it's like a personal, I know the people involved, I'm going to go to the other person. What the fuck happened? Like, I want to hear from you. I'm not going to tell you what they said. I want to know what happened. Tell me. What the fuck's going on? Because I want to know the truth. And the truth often lies somewhere in between their side and their side. And when you hear both sides, you kind of get, y'all are fucking tripping. Y'all are just so fucking tripping. Y'all need to figure that shit out on your own. Got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna stay in my lane. It's all in your head. Don't allow this programming that tells you that you have to solve the world's problems to convince you that you have to solve the world's problems. The problem with the world is that people keep being convinced to save everyone else, yet they don't do the work to save themselves. That's just some backward ass shit. The world gets saved when we each choose our health and safety. Well, what does that mean, Emmie? Well, if for my health and safety, I should not eat these processed foods, I will stop buying those processed foods. And if your health and safety involves not buying those processed foods either, and you choose your health and safety, then you won't buy that either. And if nobody buys that, no one gets that. Look at all these items that people don't buy. What happens to them? Do they keep being produced? No. The manufacturers will get desperate to unload the last of their inventory, and they'll put it at bargain basement pricing, hoping to incite a buying frenzy. And let's look at society right now. Let's look at our relationships. Let's look at what we participate in for social media. When people are no longer buying the story at a rate that keeps the story sustainable, they will then incite another frenzy, which is what? I don't know, maybe a new story. Maybe we'll pit people against each other. And enough people will buy into that they can reestablish the first product to begin with. That first product they started with, they can just quietly insert that back in. And because the people are already in a frenzy, trying to prove that their opinion is more valid than yours, it's very easy to manipulate people that way. I just watch how it works. And I'm like, fuck, that's so easy. What the fuck? That's so fucking easy. And most people don't even recognize that that's what's being done. And I'm over here like, shit, eat some popcorn. What the fuck am I watching? I'm not going to hop in that. Why? It's my job to stop people who are focused on viciously attacking someone else. I mean, it depends. It depends. Is this a mutual combat? Or is this everybody ganging up on one person? Because if it's everybody ganging up on one person, bitches, I'm getting my whip and my latex boots out. You're going to see the dominatrix come out of me. I'm going to dominate every motherfucker in that until everyone leaves that person alone, because fuck that shit. That is inhumane. I'm not tolerating none of that shit. And what ends up happening? I step in shit thinking, oh, let me help that person. Girl, you should have looked at their fucking profile first, because you just stepped into this fucking person likes that. I'm sorry, bro. I messed up your whole fucking steez. I'm gonna take my boots off now. I'm gonna put my whip away. Oh, fine. Well, damn. Yeah. So now I've learned, it's some shit. I'm gonna look on their profile. What the fuck is, okay. They like that. Okay. I'm sorry. I was about to fuck up your whole flow. That was the thing. Okay. Let's pull 3 more cards and then I gotta go. I gotta talk more shit on TikTok. I didn't really talk shit on TikTok. I do readings for the other side. Oh, John, your mom's not here. You might want to save that comment for when she gets home from work. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, here we go. I love it when the trolls find me funny. Yeah? Made you laugh at your own cost. Yeah, guys, don't let people disrupt your process. Oh, yes. Okay, so we have the 3 cards. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. There's some hoes in this house. His name is John. Let me stop. For real. Okay. Silence and turning in. What's up? Sir.
You said do not let somebody disturb the process.
Anyways, so silence and turning in. This silence is inside you. If you can create, establish, maintain this stillness within yourself, the world can be burning down around you and you still have your peace intact. Do you want to know how to empower yourself? How to become, and excuse me if this shows my age, unfuckwithable. Do you want to know how to become unfuckwithable? Energetically, spiritually, socially, all of that. Do you want to know? You allow that stillness to creep up from your core. And you maintain this space within yourself where everything is still. And it's through that still water that you can see clearly. The moment you allow something in, someone else's words, someone else's opinion, someone else's behavior, someone else's life, the moment you allow those pebbles in, they will create ripples, agitating your stillness and disrupting your view. In whatever way that's healthiest for you to not allow entry, you do that. Unless it's intentionally, maliciously doing something to someone else, that's not okay. It's not okay. Due to the laws of reciprocal reflection, you will receive that back. You will. So don't bother. Instead, if you have to deflect their shit with humor, I mean, hey, people might be like, that's fucked up. Why you gotta tear into somebody? Well, they volunteered. They volunteered. They wanted a reaction. Might as well make it fucking funny. I'm just saying. Okay? Be the master of your own creation. Because you are. You are. And, if you don't have a sense of humor that can kind of deflect it in that way, you can absolutely quote me. Someone says some fucked up shit to you. Hey, I know this girl named Emmie, and she said, there's some hoes in this house, and she said your name. It's true. She did. Because it's true. I just said your name. Not like their actual name. I used the term your name. Emmie said, there's some hoes in this house. And she said your name. You're quoting me. That's a quote. Emmie said, there's some hoes in this house. And then she said your name. Boom. They're like, who the fuck's Emmie? Oh, you don't know? Oh, never mind. You don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Or block them. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. So guys, if you could please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. Join me when I'm live. And as I get more dramatic and rile myself up, I'm headed over to TikTok to do readings for the other sides. I just made myself dizzy doing that. I'm a fucking delicate flower. I told you guys that in the beginning. Okay. I gotta go. I love you guys. I will see you again soon. Remember, thumbs up the video because we want to fuck YouTube. Bye, guys.